Okay, good afternoon or good morning, year 5, whoever's watching this. So what I've decided to do is to do another interventions video on your adding and subtracting fractions when they're working with mixed numbers. And that's because I know a lot of you were struggling with this over this week. So you've got this now to come back to and have some extra practice if you need to. And it's going to be on the Google Classroom page forever, so you can access this video whenever you like. So if ever you're struggling with it, preparing for a test, whatever, you can come back and watch this video. So then, the first thing we want to look at then, and I know we've been through it all this week, but it's our fraction rules. So every single time we're working with fractions, we want to make sure they're both in the same format, okay? And usually that would be in the form of improper fractions, so where your numerator, number on the top, is bigger than your denominator, the number on the bottom. It's a top-heavy fraction. So you want to make sure you do that. Then make sure that denominators, your number on the bottom, are all the same, and then you can do anything with it. You can add them and take them away. Okay, so that is what we're going to be running through today. So I've just put some questions here. So here I've got my adding and subtracting mixed number fractions. I've got a list of some questions here for you, and then here are the steps that you need to be doing when you're answering these questions. So the first step is to convert them into improper fractions. So we've got our mixed numbers here, and we want to be converting them both into improper fractions. Now, first of all, we've had loads of practice of this week, so you should be okay with this. If not, there is a converting fractions video as well on the interventions page, very similar to this one, and that will help you to convert your fractions. If you're struggling with that and you're not sure how to do that, go back and watch that video, do the work for that first, and then come back and watch this video. So the first thing, as I said, that we need to do is convert our improper fractions into mixed numbers. So that's step one. So let's look at question 1, 6.5, and we're taking away 4 and 4 6. So what I'm going to do is I just need to go onto my smartboard. So the first thing we need to do, I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to do it. Go and watch the other video if you're confused, but we're going to run through it quite quickly. So the first thing that we need to do, okay, so sorry about that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to multiply our whole number by our denominator. Whole number by our denominator, which is 6 times 2. If we work that one out, we get the answer. Oopsie daisy. We get the answer 12. Okay, and then, as you know, we need to then add on our numerator. Okay, so if we're struggling with this, remember you can watch that video before. So add our numerator. Our numerator is 1. Nice and easy. So 12 add 1 is 13, and remember our denominator stays the same, so our final answer will be 13 over 2. And then we need to do exactly the same then with our other fraction. So our other fraction is 4 and 4, 6, so we're going to do 4 times 6, which if you work that out, do your column multiplication if you need to. You should be able to count up in 6s in your head or in 4s in your head, and you'll get the answer 24. And then you add on your numerator, which is 4, and you get the answer then. Count up with your fingers if you need to, 28. And remember, your denominator always stays the same, so you've got 28 over 4. And then we've made the first step. So we've gone from 6.5, take away 4 and 4, 6, and we've converted that then now. So we've got 13 halves, take away 28, 6. Okay. And the next step then, as it says here, number 2, make them have the same denominator, and we will do exactly that. So what I always do whenever we make the same denominator, start with your smaller denominator and multiply it to make it bigger. That's the easier way to do it for me, I think. So 13 over 2, I'm going to make it 6. So how do we get from 2 to 6? We multiply it by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And whatever you do to your denominator, you must do to your numerator. 13 times 3. And you get the answer then. If you're struggling with things like this, okay, column multiplication's absolutely fine. If you can do, try and work it out in your head. So an easy way to do this, do 1 times 3, your 10 times 3, which is 3. 3 times 3 is 9, so you've got 39 over 6. Now, I am actually going through this quite quickly. If you do your questions, you might take a little bit more time. That's absolutely fine, okay? I'm just showing you the technique of what you need to do each time. It might take you a little bit longer to work out the answers, but that's okay, as long as you're following the same process every time. So what we've done then, we've now changed our 13 halves, we've converted that to 39 over 6. So they're exactly the same numbers, but it's just got a denominator is different, okay? So now we've got 39 over 6 take away 28 over 6, so we focus on our numerators. We have a look at step 3, add or subtract the numerator depending on what the question is asking you to do. So we're going to take away this time. 39 take away 28. If you work that out, you will get 11. So it'll be 11 over 6. And then that's our answer. What we can do then, step 4, is convert these then back to mixed numbers. If you are struggling with steps 1 to 3 already, you do not need to worry about step 4, okay? Give yourself a tick for that. Stop there. If you want, you can carry on, okay? And there is a video of converting your fractions, so you can use that to help you. So what you would get as your final answer, 11 over 6. How many 6s go into 11? You've got 1 whole, 5 6 remaining. So you'd also get a tick for that, okay? So that is how we're going to be doing it. And I'm just going to run through all of these questions for you so you can see the process so many times, and hopefully it'll engrave it into your head, and then you can have a go at the questions on the worksheet. So next question, 2 1/3 add 2 and 7 ninths. So 2 times 3, well, remember we're converting our whole mixed numbers into improper fractions. So do a whole number times our denominator, oopsie, and you get the answer 6, and then you must add on your numerator, which is 1, and you get the answer 7. Don't forget though, your denominator stays the same, so we've got 7 thirds. And the same for the next one. So the next number is 2 and 7 ninths. So I'm going to multiply my whole number by my denominator and add on my numerator. So 2 times 9, that equals 18. Add on your numerator, adding on 7, and you get 25. What stays the same? Your denominator stays the same. Always stays the same. So you've got 25 then over whatever your denominator was, which is 9. So now what we've done then, we've got 7 thirds and 20, take away 25 ninths, okay? The next step then, remember, make them have the same denominator. That's step 2. So remember, start with your smaller one and make it bigger. So 7 thirds, how do I get from 3 to 9? Of course, you times it by 3, and whatever you do to your denominator, you must also do to your numerator. So 7 times 3, once you work that out, you'll get 21 ninths. So we've converted this then to have a denominator of 9, so it's 21 over 9. Okay, and we've got this here. Okay, apologies again for pausing the video. I realised I thought I'd made a mistake, but in fact the question says to add these two numbers together, as you can see, not to take them away. So that's absolutely fine. So now all we need to do then, the last step, as it says, add or subtract the numerators. So we're going to add these together. So 21 add 25. If you work that out, you can do column addition if you want. Work it out in your head. What I would do, I'd start with 25. I'm going to add on 21. So what I'll do, I'll count in 10. So I'll add my 20 on first. So 25 add 20. So 35, 45. Add that one. It's 46. And your denominator stays the same, and that's your final answer. And then again, remember, you can convert this into a mixed number if you like. There is a video on that to help you, but we're not going to worry about that too much today. So let's have a look at the next question then. 9 1/4 take away 3 6/8. So let's have a look then. So we start them, convert them into improper fractions. So we're going to start with 9 1/4. So 9 times 4 then, our whole number times by our denominator. If you work that out, you get 36. Then you need to add on your numerator, which is 1. Nice and easy. Add 1 on. 37. So we've got 37 then. Your denominator stays the same. So we've got 37 over 4. Now we need to convert our second mixed number. So we've got 3 6/8. Let me just scroll this down. So whole number times by our denominator, so 3 times 8, work that out, you get 24. Add on your numerator, which was 6, okay, the number on the top. 24 add 6, you get 30. And remember, your denominator always stays the same, so you've got 30 over 8. Okay, I believe that was your denominator. 30 over 8, yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we go over here, and we've got 37 over 4, take away 30 over 8. Now, what do we need to do next? Of course, we need to make sure our denominator is the same. Step 2, denominator is the same. So start with your smaller one, go to your bigger one. How do you get from 4 to 8? Times it by 2, and whatever you do to your denominator, you do to your numerator. Okay, now you might get difficult questions like this. We get 37 times 2. You might not be able to do that in your head. Use that column multiplication, or draw it out if that helps you. Work it out in your head. Take your time step by step, and you will get the answer then, 74. So now then we've got 74. We've converted this to 74 over 8. They're exactly the same, and now our denominators are the same. So we've got step 3, add or subtract the numerators. We're subtracting, so 74, take away 30. If you work that out, however you want to work that out, you will finally get the answer, 44 over 8. And that's our final answer. What we can do is convert it into a mixed number if we want to. I'm just going to leave it as 44 over 8. And let's move on to the next question then. So 4 and 9/10, take away 4 and 2/5. Okay. So first of all, convert them into improper fractions. So we'll take it one fraction at a time. So 4 and 9/10, whole number, times by denominator. So 4 times 10, and then add the 9. So 4 times 10 is 40. 40, add my numerator, add 9, is 49, and denominator stays the same. 49 over 10. Bang, done. Okay, and now we need to change. Look at the next fraction. So we've got 4 and 2/5. So let's have a look. Then 4. Oh dear, sorry. 4 and 2/5. So we're doing our whole number 4 times by denominator, which is 5. You get 20. Add on your numerator, which was 2, the number on the top. And you get 22. And what stays the same? Your denominator. So you've got 22 over 5. And here we go then. Let's have a look. So we've got 49 over 10, take away 22 over 5. What's the next thing we need to do? As I've shown you so many times now, we need to add or subtract the numerator, step 3. So we're going to be subtracting like it says in the question. Oh no, sorry. Next thing we need to do is, of course, we need to make our denominator same. We're on step 2 here. Make the denominators the same. So start with the smaller one, put it to the bigger one. 22 over 5. How do I get from 5 to 10? Multiply it by 2. You do exactly whatever you do to your denominator, you do to your numerator. So you've got 22 times by 2. Okay, take it one digit at a time if you want. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4. 44. And now then, all we've done is we converted our 22/5 into 44 over 10. And now we do step 3, which is add or subtract the numerators. We are subtracting in this question. So 49, take away 44. Just count up from 44. So 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. That's your answer. It's 5. So we've got them 5/10. Okay, and that's your answer to the fourth question. Okay, we'll go through this one again nice and slowly, and then you've got your work to have a go at if you want to have some extra practice. So we've got 5 and 9/20, add 3 and 3/4. So first of all, step 1, convert them into improper fractions. So one fraction at a time. 5 and 9/20 is my first one. So my whole number is 5, my denominator is 20. Now don't be scared when you've got something like this. If you want to, you can use column addition. But you know your 2's times tables, so your 20 times tables is exactly the same, just with a 0 on the end. So if we would say doing 5 times 2, we'd do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But now it's 20, it's not 2, so we do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 5 times 20 is 100. Right there, and we need to add on our numerator, the number on the top, which is 9. And our answer then is 109. Don't forget your denominator needs to stay the same. So we've got 109 over 20. So we convert to that one. Now we need to convert our other fraction. So 3 and 3/4. So again, whole number times the denominator. So that's 3 times 4 equals 12. And then we do 12. Add on our numerator, the number on the top. What's the number on the top? The number on the top is 3. So we're doing 12, add 3, 15. And what stays the same? The denominator. So we've got 15 then over 4. Okie dokie. So now what we've done then, we've converted our fractions. We've got 109 over 20. Take away 15 over 4. What's the next step we need to do? Make them have the same denominator. Okay, so start with the smaller one, put it to the bigger one. How do I get from 4 to 5? Count up in your 4 times table till you get to 20. Count on your fingers. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, that's 5. So you're multiplying that by 5. Whatever you do to the denominator, you must also do to your numerator. Okay, and however you might want to work this out, whatever method you choose to do, you will finally get the answer then, 75. Okay, so now what we have done then, we've converted our 15 quarters into 75 over 20. And I've just realised this needs to be an add sign, just because that's what it's asking me in the question. So I've just written that wrong. So add sign. So now we're adding them together. Ignore what this is going to be again. You might want to do it any method you can. I'm going to count up my 70 first. I'm going to ignore my 5 and just add 70. So I do 119, 129, 139, 149, 159, 169, 179. Add 5 more. 180, 181, 182, 183, 184. And your denominator stays the same. And that's your final answer. And again, you can do, if you want to, step 4, convert them back into mixed numbers, how they started with. And if you did do that, you would then get 9 and 4/20. But do not worry too much about that bit. You're focusing really on steps 1 to 3. And if you're feeling confident, have a go at number 4. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to rewatch this video again if you want to. Focus on certain areas, rewatch other videos if they might help you. So, for example, your converting fractions video on the interventions page, that might help you. Okay, it's the same process every time. You're just following these 3 steps. Okay, so you convert them into improper fractions. Okay, which we've had loads of practice on now. Make your denominators the same. Had loads of practice at that, and then you look at your numerators, the numbers on the top, and you either take them away or add them, depending on what your question is asking you to do. Okay, hopefully you're all okay with that. Please have a go. It's really, really good practice for you. And hopefully then you should be all absolute experts at this by the end of the term. So when you all come back and I see you on the 8th of March, you'll be absolutely perfect. Okay, thank you very much then, Year 5. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you get on with this well. Let me know if you've got any problems and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.